I slept for maybe 20 to 30 minutes. It's gonna be a long day. All 4 solo travelers got together around 9:30 and we ordered some dinner. Got it delivered because we were lazy, and we also had to pack our bags. Then we ate on the floor like budget backpackers do, and it was amazing food. Like the food that you see is just, it was just €1 per person. Great deal. I personally think there is a right way to hike Mount Ljen and not a wrong way, but a different way. We drove for about 2 hours and then we got some tea and fried bananas again, which was amazing. And then around 2 o'clock, the path to hike up Mount Ljen opened up. When I tell you it is steep, like the first 2 kilometers are steep uphill and then it flattens out and it's just it's more of a walk instead of a hike. At 2,000 meter altitude is intense. It took about an hour to go up, and once you're there we hiked down. And when I tell you there is no path, I am not exaggerating. Our guide guided us for the first maybe 5 minutes, and then he handed me a torch and said, "Go on," which meant that I had to guide the entire group and he would stay with the slowest, like in the back of the group, to make sure nobody got left behind, which is nice, but I'm not the person who should be guiding, especially not on a path like this. It took about half an hour of slipping down, twisting ankles and near falls, but we made it to the bottom of the crater. This also meant that you had to wear your gas mask because the sulfur coming from the crater is very toxic. Now there is a reason we started hiking this early, because you can only see the blue flames in the darkest of night. So you have to be there during this short period of time that you can actually see the blue flames. Because it was still dark, we couldn't see much of the crater, so we decided to hike up the crater again and wait for sunrise. Upon hiking up, I realized why next time, if I ever do this again, I would do it differently.
Not only is it very hard to hike down as there is barely a path, but extremely hardworking miners are digging up sulfur and dragging it from the bottom of the crater up and then back down again. I was wearing a gas mask because there is sulfur gas coming from the lake, which can be dangerous to breathe in. However, some of these workers were not. They work in extreme conditions, making about $10 a day, carrying stuff on their backs that my chicken arms could never. So while I absolutely loved the hike and the view, I cannot imagine working under these conditions day in, day out. However, you share the path with them, and the many tourists going down into the crater prevent them from doing their work.
Now there's a sign at the start of the trail that says if you're over 40, I don't think it's forbidden, but I think they just don't recommend it for people over 40 to go hike up Mount Ljen. The sun began to rise and we got some amazing views out of this world. Mount Ljen is the largest crater acidic lake in the entire world. That's the best thing I've done in all of Indonesia. Amazing. That was one of the hardest but also the coolest thing I've ever done. I'm out of breath. This is amazing. Look at this view. This was such a bucket list experience. Very well worth it. It's a tough hike, but the views you get in return are amazing. We walked for about 20 minutes to Sunrise Point, took some amazing photos, enjoyed the view, and just took it all in. Made it back down again. Now that was one of the most beautiful and amazing things I have ever done in my entire life. The views are just out of this world. Like Mount Bromo was amazing, but Mount Ljen is in a whole new level. I just cannot believe this is our planet, that this is on Earth, that this is a place that you can just go and visit. And to think that this is just the start of my trip. I'm not even 1 month on the road and I've already seen some amazing things. Like if my trip were to end right now, I'd be sad, but I'd be fine with it. I've seen amazing things. Like I want to continue this trip and I'm going to continue this trip, but man, Indonesia is just, or Java is just, please go. Then I realized homemade means most likely not mineral water but tap water. And that's gonna be a problem.